Hello. Right, so we just come off stream, and we've been playing The Witcher 3, and a viewer essentially is currently playing Cyberpunk, and they're going to be moving over to The Witcher, and I essentially asked, what should I do first? So I thought I'd do this video to give my 5 tips, I suppose, when you first start in The Witcher 3. So in the background is footage of a Death March run I done earlier in the year, I believe, maybe even last year. This was the last trophy we needed to platinum it. So I platinum The Witcher 3 on Death March. Done all the DLC on Death March as well. But we're just playing it again just to experience it on PC. So this is console. I'm playing it on PC for the first time, which is unbelievable, by the way. But anyway. Tip number one when you're starting is you start in a place called White Orchard. Now this is the place that's like an introductory to the Witcher world, to the game, to what you can expect when you do that area, and move on to like Velen, Novigrad, Skellige, Kaer Morhen, etc. Excuse me. So when I say do all of it, so in White Orchard you'll have Witcher contracts, you'll have treasure hunts from memory, you'll have monster nests, you'll have bandit camps, you'll have places of power, question marks, hidden treasures, guarded treasures. You get the gist. So I would recommend doing all of that, especially if you play it on Death March. It sets you up really nicely for the rest of the game, because you're already about level 4 or 5 after doing all of that stuff, including the main missions in that area. So you're in a good starting place when you get to Velen. So like I say, do all the quests, do everything in White Orchard before progressing through to the rest of the story. Second bit is there is Temeria armor. So with the Witcher being remastered for next gen consoles, etc., they done a new update where you can get I think it's 3 sets of armor. So you can get 2 in Vizima once you leave White Orchard, and then you can get one earlier on in White Orchard from a merchant who you save right at the start of the game. So as soon as the game begins, you're following Yennefer's trail. You ride your horse down a little bit of a pathway. This random man gets attacked by a griffin. You save the man. If you're nice to the man and don't take his money, then you'll be treated fairly later on. So again, decisions are important. I would suggest that for any decision in the Witcher game. If you are offered money for helping, just out of again just helping, I would refuse it, because 9 times out of 10 you get help later on by getting free food, etc., by the merchant's family member. So again, every decision matters. But anyway, once he sets up his stall, he should have Temeria armor there, which you have to buy, but it is level 4 or 5. So that's always good to have as well, because it's a set armor, so it gives you set bonuses. So it's always worth grabbing that. Once you've left White Orchard, actually, I've just remembered something else. It wasn't on my notes, but I've remembered something else. There is a Viper set that you can get as well. So you can get a Viper swords in White Orchard. So they're little treasure hunts. Again, get them as well. Craft them. They will help you. The second bit is once you've left White Orchard and you've been to Vizima to visit Emperor Mir, you'll then introduce to Velen, which is the next. That's where the game fully opens up, essentially. So in Velen, you are able quite early on. I think you have to be level 11 to wear it, but you can craft and get access to the Griffin armor. I would strongly suggest that. The Griffin armor is probably one of the better ones for like first time playthrough, etc. So I'd recommend getting that. It doesn't look the best at the start, but once you get it upgraded, it does look pretty cool. But we'll get onto that in a moment. So yeah, get the Griffin armor. Really important. Again, Witcher armor is extra special because it gives you Witcher bonuses. So maybe One armor set could improve your sign intensity or your weapon damage or etc. So again, it's always important to get a Witcher set of gear. I personally feel, whether that be Griffin, that you can give a Netflix armor, but you won't be able to get that until you get to Kaer Morhen, which is a way off. The Ursine armor, which is like the School of the Bear. So yeah, get a Witcher set as soon as possible. I would also focus on going to notice boards around Velen. So with The Witcher, there's a leveling system. So when you come across certain areas, you may come across enemies that have a red skull next to their like health bar. That doesn't mean they're not invincible. You can beat them. It might be a bit difficult. So try and stay away from those areas. But again, with Velen, go around, go to all the notice boards. They're going to give you Witcher contracts. They're going to give you side quests. They're going to make places visible and discoverable. So go to notice boards. And then the last two are very, very straightforward and very simple. I would create Swallow. So Swallow is a potion that heals you. Now, food does heal you, but Swallow is more useful. So Swallow is, like I say, it's a potion you can create pretty early on. And the good thing about potions and bombs and decoctions and oils, etc., once you meditate and you have some form of alcohol on you, they will then regenerate once you've meditated. So you never really run out of them. The other thing is there is a skill point called Gourmet, I believe it's called. It's in the brown section. Sorry, this, like I say, this is a video of mine. Let me see if I've got the pause menu anywhere. I'm not going to have the pause menu anywhere. I think there was one at the start of the game, right? I wonder if I... So as you can see, I'm doing this on New Game Plus as well, so that's why my level's so high. Yeah, I don't think I look at any skill points, unfortunately. Try not to spoil anything either as well. Okay, it's nowhere to be seen. But essentially, yeah, there is a skill point called Gourmet, which you can get pretty early on, I believe, after White Orchard. Get that, because what that essentially does is once you eat a bit of food, the food will last for 20 minutes. So essentially you're healing consistently for 20 minutes, which is pretty cool. So it's worth grabbing that whenever you can. And then the last one is create bombs. So around every place that you'll go, so Velen, Skellige, Novigrad, White Orchard, Kaer Morhen, there will be monster nests. Monster nests can only be destroyed by bombs. So I would highly recommend creating bombs as soon as you can. So essentially, like I say, as soon as you start the game, get White Orchard done. And again, in White Orchard, there are monster nests, and you can destroy them there. All you have to do is create a bomb. So get them done. It doesn't matter what bomb either. It doesn't have to be an explosive one. It can be a Sanum, which is a blinding one. It can be any bomb. As long as it explodes, it doesn't matter. So that will help you destroy the monster nests to get you leveled up pretty quickly. So other than that, the only other thing I would suggest is with The Witcher, it's very similar to Cyberpunk. There's certain ways that you can play. So I always tend to go down the route of Sword and Ard and Axii or Quen. I can't remember. Yeah, so I always use combat, so swords, Ard, Axii and Igni. Those are the things I use. So the last four are signs, so they're like magical powers. So Igni is what you've just seen on screen there, a fire stream. Ard is like a Jedi force push, and then Axii is a really useful one because it's like a Jedi mind trick. It only works on the weak-minded, but it can help in certain cutscenes, in combat as well. So you can like make enemies essentially sleep on the spot, making them open for an attack. And then monsters, it also works on monsters. And then the last thing I would say is create oils as well. So you can create a beast oil, which gives you like 10% for monsters, I think. And then it gets a bit more specific per oil. So you can have like a vampire oil, you can have a drachnoid oil, you can have a ghoul oil, a cursed oil, etc. You get the gist of it, right? So each of them do certain things against certain enemy types. So again, there's a lot to this game, especially when you're starting it. It can get a little bit overwhelming, which I do understand. But what I would say is watch videos, do a bit of Googling, do a bit of homework on it. Hopefully this video helps a little bit just to set you in. I mean, look at that view, goddamn. Anyway, sorry, this game's unbelievable. And whoever, if you've not played it, I just have no words. You're in for a ride. And what I will say is, once you complete it, you will feel a full-on emptiness inside you, where no other game can compare to this. So we've recently, just a bit off track here, but we've just played Cyberpunk 2077, completed it twice, and we've been playing The Witcher as well now. And after I completed Cyberpunk and the DLC for the second time, it was, again, it's like an emptiness. You're like, nothing can fill it. Like, I try and play Destiny, doesn't fill it. I try and play Assassin's Creed 2, doesn't fill it. Try and play something funny to try and change the tone, doesn't work. The only thing that can cure that void is The Witcher, and vice versa. If I'd done The Witcher first, Cyberpunk's the only thing that can cure it. It's so weird. They just know how to make games, and if you haven't played it, you're going to enjoy it. Just the only thing I will say, which a lot of people struggle with, is the White Orchard bit. So the beginning bit is very, not slow, but you're not really sure what's going on. I would just say, give it the time. Get through the prologue, get White Orchard out of the way. The game opens up, and this is not like nothing else. And again, remember the game is from 2015. Let's remember that. But yeah, the combat's unbelievable, the characters are unbelievable, the graphics are unbelievable, the story's unbelievable. Everything about this game is a 10 out of 10, and nothing comes close to it at all. Just like Cyberpunk. But anyway, I'm going off topic. Those are my tips for the very, very beginning of the game. So yeah, White Orchard's probably the most important thing. The other things you'll probably just come across normally and naturally. But I would always, regardless of difficulty, get White Orchard done 100%. So do all the question marks, do all the monster nests, do all the Witcher contracts, etc. Do everything and pick everything up. That's the other thing. Oh my god. Pick every single item up that you can. Yes, you'll probably become, over encumbered or whatever Skyrim use. You'll basically carry too much weight. But sell all the stuff, dismantle it, you'll get materials for crafting later on. Just trust me, pick everything up. Trust me. And the last tip I've got for you, the last tip, and I'm going to look directly at the camera here. The last tip, pick Yennefer of Vengerberg. And on that note, peace out.